Okay, today we're talking with the new director of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Dr. Skipwith.
Thank you.
Welcome to the desert.
Thank
Deputy
you.
Secretary Kate MacGregor over here.
Yep.
You're not Irish, are you?
Scotch Irish.
Scotch and Irish? Oh, there's no drinking and fighting in your family. No.
Oh my God.
Okay, me too. It's okay. I hear from Department of Interior. Very, very important trip for us here in Arizona. We just opened up 4 wildlife refuges here. We're at Buenos Aires, 117,000 acres that recently was closed by, I think, going back to 2006 because of the influx coming across the border and getting trashed and tearing up the environment. But everybody's done a good job to bring it back. So let me ask you this. What is your take on the future of being able to keep these grounds open with the new border wall and all the things that are going on?
Well, one of the amazing things we've seen today is how the 2 missions coexist here and do it so well. But what we heard from the refuge manager is that with the installation of the 30-foot border wall, people feel safer and are coming out and able to use those lands. So if there's an additional, for this hunting year, this hunting season, an additional 3,000 acres that we're able to open because of that wall.
Nice.
So that says to me the wall is effective, it's working, but also more people are coming out. And you know, Aurelia has been really great about managing these lands and making sure that we have, you know, public lands are for the public and making sure we have access. So.
Director, one of the things we did several years ago, we dug in with the Border Patrol and Arizona Game and Fish Department. We came down here and I'm not a normal media guy. We're down here rolling in the dirt, climbing underneath the fence, going, I can go in, I can go out, you know, that kind of thing. And what we did is sit down with Border Patrol and wrote a sportsman's protocol in hunting and enjoying all the opportunities here in southern Arizona. And it wasn't real difficult. We had a lot of cooperative information come from BP and your department, and it's real simple. We're able to pick up the phone and call BP and say, hey, I'm coming down there and I'm driving this truck, here's my license number, we're going to be camped over here for 4 days, so if you want to come stop by and have coffee and a donut, come on. So, because of what's going on now with the marketing, the bad guys and the good guys all look alike. We all shop at the same stores. We have the same camouflage pattern. We have the same backpacks, the same boots, carrying semi-automatic platforms. So the Border Patrol, when they see these guys out sneaking around hunting a half line, oh my goodness, what is it? They don't know. And we've been in situations where they come in and camp at night. You hear pitter patter with the combat boots, and flashlights come out, the guns go cocked and locked, and you get a tense for about 10 minutes before you figure out that, okay, you're a Border Patrol and I'm a citizen. You know, you kind of calm down, but it's been real tense. But with the advent of Secretary Bernhardt, I've seen just a marked, huge positive change down here coming out of DOI, and we're seeing stuff with Fish and Wildlife opening up lands and things like that. So.
We definitely delivered in the numbers on this one. You know, the president was pretty clear, make public lands public and let people use them.
Oh, absolutely.
So our total now is what, 4.1 million acres over our 4 years of what we've opened, and we're not stopping. I think you know,
that's amazing.
There's more.
And it's about opportunities. So, you know, making sure that those lands are open for the American people to use. It's part of our American heritage when it comes to hunting, fishing, recreating, and having our law enforcement there. Those are usually the first people
That's the key.
that the public sees. And it provides that safety aspect that you can go out and do what you want to do, and we're here to facilitate that. And that helps with the relationships that we have with the states, with other federal agencies like CBP, for us to enjoy the lands that belong to the American people. And as Kate said, you know, that's clear. That's coming straight from the president. The American lands are for the American people. And even before COVID started, there's no better place to recreate than on your local national wildlife refuge. Like, you're going out, you're outdoors, you're in your space, you're in nature. And so we always say, come out to visit. This is part of what belongs to you. And here at the Fish and Wildlife Service, we're stewards. We're making sure that we're keeping the lands in the condition, that the wildlife, that they have their populations, the sustainability. And so that's all around making sure that ecosystem, and part of that is making sure that these lands, they're for the people as well as for the wildlife.
Absolutely. One of the things we're doing at the Arizona Deer Association, we recently signed a cooperative MOU with the Mule Deer Foundation and the Game and Fish Department, and have suggested the DOI and your agency that we perhaps look at the same thing. But this year, COVID-19, right in the middle of it, we've had such a strange year. We're 15 years into a 4-year drought, and it never left. It's getting worse and worse. This year we've been plagued by wildfires that have really devastated. We just met with the Gila County supervisors and cattle growers, and have embarked upon hauling water for wildlife in specifically units 23 and 22 south. The one ranch we adopted lost 24 miles of pipeline. They just, we're going to put it back, but it's going to be a challenge. It's all rough terrain, horseback, and we'll be working with those guys. But that's part of our mission statement. You know, the stuff that we do is for all of God's creatures, just like you and the public. There's the hunters and the fishermen that pay the way, and then we have the bird watchers and those folks that don't pay the way that enjoy it as well.
And I think that gets, you know, the hunting community doesn't get that credit.
Right.
I mean, they are the greatest advocates and the best conservationists that we have. They put their money where their mouth is, especially when it comes to the duck stamp. And seeing that over $1 billion since the Duck Stamp Act was introduced in 1934,
Wow.
that has preserved over 6 million acres. So when we talk about conservation,
Yeah.
it's the hunters that are contributing to that.
Reinvesting in it, yeah.
And we were so thankful, and one of the things that we did this year is going forward, when you look at the Duck Stamp, we now have a permanent theme for hunters. And so, yeah, and so from here on out, that is, you know, that's a requirement. There's that hunting theme, so you have a hunter or some kind of hunting accessory, and that's really acknowledging the hunting community's contribution to conservation. We wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for the hunters.
Have you ever thought about a tattoo? They're pretty permanent. $500 for a lifetime duck stamp? You say?
You know,
We'll
we
take
accept
that
all
on.
ideas.
Yeah, we'll
We
take
accept all ideas.
Go to the public comments, we'll take a look at it.
That's good stuff. What are your visions for the rest of the refuges here? We've got Leslie Canyon was on the list, Cibola, and what was it? Cabeza Prieto.
Cabeza Prieto.
That's a huge one.
Yeah, we're gonna be over there tomorrow, and I think
Right.
that's the largest acreage that we put on for new hunting opportunities this year is out of Cabeza, I believe.
Yes, it is.
So I'm excited to see that. I mean, we're here to look at both what the sportsman's community needs, because it's so huge down here. I mean, I asked today how many visitors are coming into Buenos Aires, and most of them are hunting folks.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure they're happy and they're getting their opportunities. We also want to make sure that they're safe and that the American people are safe. So it was cool to see the border mission. It says that you were saying you do a lot of running in the dirt with the CBP folks.
You know, my hat's off to those guys. If I were a younger man, I'd be right in the middle of it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tough job, and we got to speak to CBP today and thank them for everything they do, and hear about how they work so closely with our refuge manager to put up that wall, which is almost done.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see those missions coexist. We're going to do a little bit of that tomorrow. We're going to talk about the hunting opportunities that are open at Cabeza Prieta and see some of the other border mission. And also, you know, what's been great about the trip that Aurelia put together is we're also spending some time with our law enforcement officers and making sure we're thanking them for everything they do and that they know we support
That's a pretty thankless, lonely job for the most part.
Yeah.
And dangerous too.
You know what? Look at my truck. I've got level 3 body armor in there, and
We saw that. It's a nice truck.
Thank you. And I specifically didn't buy Doug any, so I
What didn't you
I
do?
stayed
Poor
behind him. So Doug, you go first.
Yeah.
He's so tough, he doesn't need it.
Oh, yeah.
No body on
You're
the
not
feet.
gonna believe this, but I'm actually older than him.
Really?
Yes.
It's hard to
I'm
believe
Well,
it.
I'm 4 years older than that man right there.
Well, that's great. I will put this offer out to both of your agencies. We stand ready to assist you in any capacity that we can.
Thank you.
We do a lot of monitoring of wildlife. The ESA is making us crazy, and as you know, there's hopefully some light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, did you hear we did some ESA reg reform last year too, and we're still working on some. And,
Yeah.
and it's important, we're meeting the mission of the Endangered Species Act,
Yeah.
but making sure it's implemented sensibly.
Yeah, that's the thing, and there's a need for it. We need to protect those that are in trouble and try to figure out why they got in trouble to begin with. But on the other hand, the other side of the fence with the sue and settle is wasting an awful lot of money, and especially one of the tragedies that we have here in the West are the wild horse and burro issue. And I don't want to, get into that very deep today.
That's fine. Bureau of Land Management is hard at work on that.
Yeah. Well, the problem with that is, Deputy Secretary, the horses they can't read. They don't stay on be on the
I know.
land. They're all over the place. And you walk around out here for too long, you're going to be stumbling over burro biscuits. So, we're looking pretty hard at that. We've lost, some habitat in Arizona that we're asking for help on. But I think probably the biggest thing we can do is haul water for you. And you can talk to your managers all the way around. They can lean on us. And I'll send you home with the letter that I signed on to your department. And we sent Mitch McConnell a little note on your behalf.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll give you this before we head out from the Arizona Deer Association.
Oh, look at that.
I'm gonna let you guys.
Oh, you
After
pick.
you
You
pick.
pick.
No,
I
after
love
you
the white
pick.
one.
Okay, there you go. Pink is good. And we have,
We'll get it approved through ethics.
Yeah, of course.
some ladies type Arizona
nice.
Deer Association
You can
shirts.
load it.
Wow, we're spoiled here. And we didn't even get a gift for you. We need to do
So
that.
there won't be
Oh,
any
wow.
mistake
Look
that
at
you
the
were at
tracks.
least in
That's pretty
Arizona.
cool.
And like the boat neck here.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
really different. Thank
This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you, Doug.
Well, hopefully we'll come back. We were told today, Javelina is now on my list thanks to Craig.
Yeah.
I'd like to do one of those hunts, so we'll figure that out. But I hear there's a big ham hunt in February.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Women's.
A
Well,
women's ham hunt.
yesterday I filled out my spring applications and the first time ever put in for 36 egg.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, for Javelina. So, we used to hunt over on the Rio Rico side, but with the end and everything going on,
Yeah.
it's a natural for those guys.
Oh, that'll be cool. And they put feral pigs on too, right, this year? Feral pigs are now on. We hear they're not really here, but maybe they're here. There's some.
Well, let me tell you off the record, so I wasn't sure about this. I have a feral hog hotline for Arizona, and when I brought that to the commission, the game commission, they burst out in laughter. I said, we've got feral pigs. Oh yeah, it's McDowell, yeah. So I've got 18 confirmed locations.
Really?
Yeah. All the way from southeastern Arizona where they're coming across from New Mexico, clear up to the Kaibat Plateau on the north rim of the Grand Canyon.
Wow. Okay.
And that's confirmed by one of our beloved game commissioners. Go, oh my God, I saw a feral hog. Did you shoot it? No, I couldn't get my rifle up. Okay.
Those suckers can move pretty fast when they want to.
Those are that's 40 mile an hour bacon. It is, and I'm an advocate for
That's what's
harvesting free range bacon. I don't want to see them take a foothold here. And
No.
we've got them, they're migrating up to Doug's.
Oh, yeah.
neighborhood out
Yeah.
of,
They're just south of St. George, Utah,
yeah, units
on the
called-
Arizona Strip.
Really?
There's about 100 of them.
I was just up there like last month.
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell
Yeah,
you.
so if
Maybe they're
we're
following.
not vigilant, we're gonna have a problem. I met with the game and fish director in New Mexico, and she just started laughing. So, oh, we got this. I said, okay. Well, now they're in a position like Texas, they're not gonna barbecue their way out of it. They're not.
Yeah, it's crazy in Texas.
Mhm.
There's just too many of them.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll put them on my list too.
Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time, but thank you so much for coming
Thank
to
you so
Arizona.
much.
And
Oh, thank you.
my
so much.
pleasure.